Hello, everyone, and welcome to Boy on the Beard. I'm Boyo. This is the Beard. B, how you doing tonight?
Not too shabby.
We got a hometown hero on the squad here tonight. Shep, how you doing, mate?
Hey, happy to be here, boys. Thanks for having me. It only took me like a year trying to ask you guys to get on this thing.
You've only
Yeah.
been alive for like 3 months.
Yeah. To be fair, the waiting list is not long. I think you literally got in 2 days, so that's good stuff. You know, if anyone else wants to be on, wait list is not long. Shep can attest. So.
Yep.
We're going to be doing a little bit of a dynasty draft here today. To be fair, I have not done a dynasty before. Shep, I don't think has done a dynasty before.
First time.
B, B's the veteran around here, so he's going to give us a little bit of a.
And that's veteran as loosely as it could be.
Two dynasties. So
One.
one dynasty. That's all right.
But we have an actual dynasty draft coming up here in a couple months that we're just now starting in its first year, so it'll be interesting.
Pretty amped. We do need a league name, to be fair. So if you got one, let us know. We're gonna pull up the dynasty draft here. Here now we're rocking sleeper. Change this up here real quick. There we go. 12 team. We do have the superflex rocking. I'll show you guys here. We got quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wideouts, tight end, flex, super flex, and then we got a couple bench players. Normally we'd go to about 30, 35 players, but we're only going to be rocking 18 for the sake of time. You don't want to be seeing us drafting any nobodies. They're pretty low. So start us off though, Shep. You got the 3rd pick on the board. What are you going to be looking for?
Well, in my first attempt here at a dynasty draft, I've been told that quarterbacks are very valuable. That said, the 2 that we're going to pick are already off the board. So I think I'm just going to go with the safe pick. A lot of years left. Josh Allen.
Ooh, left the game open. B, Justin Jefferson off the board. Don't snag him.
Don't snag who?
Don't snag him.
Ooh.
Big Cincy guy.
Big
Cincy guy. Classic.
Yeah.
Grew up in Kansas City and now he's a Cincy guy.
Yep. There have been a few times, I will say, there have been a few times that Brian has drafted T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. He even bet against the Chiefs once here recently in recent years to lose to the Cincinnati Bengals. Big Cincy
It was
guy.
a regular season game. Get out of here.
Oh, still counts. It does still count. I'm
going
to go.
Lost, so I won that bet, so suck it.
Wow. See, Shep, this is the kind of stuff we deal with around here. I'm going to be taking Lamar Jackson.
Doo-doo.
No, he's coming back, man. Has a potential for 40-point games on the regular, so don't you worry about that. Oh, God. Just what I wanted. Oh, Mr. Garrett Wilson. Come on through. Who you got, B?
Amon-Ra.
Well, that's who I was going to pick as well, Mr. St. Brown.
Tyreek Hill's only got a couple years left. Travis Kelce, though. Homer pick.
Homer pick.
Oh, absolute homer pick.
Hell yeah. I like to see that.
I'm going to go with, let's keep it all in the family.
Stephon Diggs, okay.
Get the connection.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I
don't mean to scroll down that bad. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to go. That was a thought that I had, B.
The connection.
Classic Brian.
As always, Smithy's copying my strategy, so nothing new here.
That is no surprise. I think Brian was running this lineup here last year as well in our redraft league, so he was loving it when T. Higgins was going off. Kind of a scumbag maneuver, but that's Brian for you. So, geez,
fantasy's just different, man.
I guess
Can't be a homer every time.
Yeah, you can't. I get that.
Go ahead and take him. I know you want to.
Gosh. I'm going to be going Slim Reaper.
Ooh.
Who do you think I was going to go for, Bri?
Dak.
Dak, yeah.
I thought you were going to go Cup there.
Thought about it.
He's
I think he still
older.
has a couple years left in him, to be fair. But yeah, I'm going to go with Tua on that one.
That hurts. Ugh.
Is there any news in regards to who the Colts player that was throwing down all that money on Colts game was today?
Looks like it was the 6th-round corner like return specialist they had is what I saw.
Okay.
Great call, by the way. Your job is probably gone anyway because they took away kickoffs.
Man, that's a pits, isn't it?
That was terrible.
That's only a 1-year rule change, though, I think. So hopefully
Hopefully a bit of hopefully a bit of 1-year rule, and then it'll get rid of that.
I mean, I guess it would make no sense that any of these teams do not participate in this rule, but they could just say, no, we're not going to use it.
I hate this pick, but I got to do it. A lot of good football left in them.
Danny Jones.
Yikes.
Danny Jones. That's a good pick.
I'm
like
not taking Kyler Murray, Brian.
Kyler Murray went before you.
That's exactly why I didn't take him. And then, Trey Lance, Kenny Pickett, Kirk Cousins is like 75.
You're not wrong there. Kirk Cousins, and if he's not playing at the 12 o'clock slot, he is worth not much. Jordan Addison, where did he go at? Jackson Smith and Jigba. All right, B, what you got?
Oh man, this is dilemma. Trying to decide between Hawk and Pollard. Hawk has fell gloriously into my lap here.
How old's Tony Pollard, Brian?
25.
25.
Yep.
We're going Tony Pollard, though.
God damn. That really hurt. I was, I would have snacked on Tony
and that
Pollard.
F you over, so I like that.
Yeah. Can we change player here real quick?
Brian's always a team player.
There is nothing that screams team player about this dude. Did you get Dalvin Miles Sanders? I think no, I'm taking that boy, Derrick Henry.
Oh, doo-doo.
Yeah, I'm not loving that one, Smith.
That's okay. King Henry runs over all.
I should probably take a running back at some point.
Yeah. That might be good,
Yeah.
That might be a good shout there. You never know.
Technology. I don't necessarily like it's Rashad. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rashad White.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's rumors that it was going to be the one of the wideouts for the Colts, but a 6th-round corner. They said it wasn't a star, but the average fan would know who it was.
Average Colts fan would be my guess. No idea who that dude is.
Let's make a distinction there, yeah.
Isaiah, I think his name was Isaiah Rodgers.
Did you see he was just making hundreds of bets, including bets on the Colts team? What was that man thinking?
I mean, not a bad shout. Your team sucks.
Brian, you still can't influence games like that.
Oh, do I take Smith's wife's ex-boyfriend or something else?
Not a bad shout.
There seems to be a story behind that. I'm going to need to hear that here in a little bit, by the way.
Yeah, we found out.
Jess dated George Kittle back in junior high.
No.
Yeah.
She definitely blew that one and settled with this guy.
Unlucky.
Yeah, Bengals!
Okay. isn't Joe Mixon like suspended, Brian?
Not
He's
yet.
good.
I'm
Not
loving
yet.
this pick. Hometown hero.
Oh man, that boy Pacheco.
That's got to be a good
Pops.
one in the Dynasty. Best pick of the day, boys.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that hurts him is he's a 7th rounder, so they don't really have any ties to him. I like Pacheco. He's easily my favorite player on the Chiefs, to be honest. Miles Sanders, not a bad pick either.
I love that one. Although when he's on my fantasy team, he always does zilch.
Yeah,
Mm.
he.
Do I go with the stud that's good with any quarterback that plays, or do I go with the future at 22 years old?
Ooh, gotta love that, baby. Penn State, go Nittany Lions.
Mr. Miles Sanders, yeah.
Ooh.
Scary Terry or Jameson?
Yeah, I didn't think Scary Terry would make it all the way back to me. Boy, Williams had a great year for the Lions last year, didn't he? Jeez. Where'd they ship Swift off to, Brian?
Philadelphia.
Philly.
He was a real buzzkill last year.
I got my two.
Yeah, he just got hurt so much.
Oh,
you know,
terrible. All the talent in the world.
Yeah, we're going to go Jameson for the future. Oh, never mind. I already have 2 Lions. We're going Scary Terry. I didn't want to go Jameson Williams and have him and Amon-Ra.
That's fine by me.
Although having that many Lions actually is not a terrible thing anymore. Would have been about 10 years ago.
Jared Goff tosses tutties. Man.
Oh, worst pick ever.
Who's that?
Jared. Oh, did you pick Jared Goff?
I did not pick Jared Goff.
Oh, okay.
By the way, they're talking about Dalvin Cook getting traded here after.
So they said that I think they said earlier today that there was a possibility he was going to line up with Miami.
Oh yeah, Dolphins almost had trade complete for him.
God, Aaron Jones is so old. Dalvin Cook's already 27, man.
They almost traded for him. It didn't work out in the end. Oh. I would have loved that. Alexander Madison getting some reps.
Yeah. That wouldn't be half bad. I'm going to take that third QB, Mr. Jordan Love.
Well, I can't take Keenan Allen because Keenan Allen's older than I am.
Yeah, to be fair, it's kind of a nice balance between, what are you going to do for me here in a couple of years versus what are you doing for me now? To be fair with your team, you got a lot of guys that could win now. Buffalo goes off. I mean, Kelsey's going to be the number 1 tight end. Danny Jones is still good for 17, 18 a game.
And the boy can run too.
And he can run. I think it'll be interesting to see what Pacheco does, especially if
they were saying Clyde's been putting in work in OTAs and practice.
Do you think that he's actually going to get used though?
I don't know.
I mean, they got that Deneric Prince guy.
They're talking about him being kickoff guy.
Kickoff, yeah. I mean, he's fast. He's like a 4.35, ain't he?
Yeah.
Another homer pick. Man, Shepard lining up.
He's got to have a big year, man.
If he stays healthy.
Got to have a big year.
His hamstrings just get plucked,
Hey, Rod. Blah, blah, blah.
We shipped off our guys.
Rodgers sling it for 2 years. Lego.
Yeah.
He's going to have 8 touchdowns in New York.
No way.
Over or under, you think, Brian?
I'll put 100 on that. He has more than 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I easily think that's going to happen.
Off the topic, but I actually made a bet with a buddy of mine who said that little guard from K-State was going to go in the top 2 rounds of the NBA draft.
That's dumb.
Yep.
That point guard?
Yeah. What was his name again, Brian?
He's not going.
Yeah.
Rashad Bateman.
Noel.
Keenan Allen's still there.
Yeah, I'm pondering him, but I don't think he's gonna stay around for long. I think Massage Watson and Njoku, they could hang out for a decent amount of time. Oh man.
Someone pick Massage Watson yet?
Yeah, probably in the first. Second round, dude. Team 8.
Yikes.
Herbert and Deshaun Watson. Man, I really wanted a team
Wow,
with.
Rasheed Rice going in the freaking 9th.
It's I mean, you got to think about it though.
We never play receivers, man.
You got Zay Flowers is already off the board. I mean, you got a lot of young dude. Quentin Johnson's already off the board. I mean, it makes sense. He's like the next one up, right?
Yes.
He was like, what, 53? I'm going to take Brian Robinson.
Ah, you a-hole.
Yeah, the dirty dog, Brian Robinson. EB's going to love that man.
I'd take Derek Carr or I'd take the future.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Levis.
Is Will Levis going to be good?
We'll find out.
What about Derek Carr going to New Orleans?
I think he's going to thrive.
Derek Carr's a good quarterback.
He's a sturdy quarterback.
Yeah.
Good, I think, is a stretch.
I mean, he's a top 15 quarterback. He's better than average, I think.
It's only 32. I'm going to go with Carr. I don't know if Levis is the guy.
Yeah, I think Carr's a good. I mean, you had Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton. I don't know. Like, what's New Orleans doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Olaf with him.
Pretty boy. Let's see. I need another running back.
Michael Thomas could come back, be decent. That's the reaction that I wanted.
That dude's dog water now.
Yeah. He'll come back.
Might as well take Gabe Davis instead. Guaranteed 2 weeks of production.
Roshan Johnson, that's not a bad one, man. I really like that idea.
Which one was that, Smith?
Roshan Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a good idea. I
still don't have a tight end. Oh, loud. Oh, F that. I'll go for the future then.
It's been between, obviously Khalil Herbert's there, but, my boy Herbert was a Jayhawk.
Was he really?
Oh, yeah, before we went to Vatech.
Nice. Yeah, I think Khalil Herbert's a good player. I mean, I also think Montgomery's a solid player too, to be fair. But Roshan Johnson was drafted by, this GM, so I don't think anyone else has any ties to him.
Oh, I just took my tight end. F you, teammate.
I'll take Dolcers. Right in front of you there, boy.
He already has Pitts. Why would you take Chig? You're a tool.
Yeah, but I can imagine Chicago's got to be much better than what they were. Man, I was watching highlights of them here from last year. 75, their right tackle, was getting harassed all like the first 5 games. I don't watch the first 5 game highlights, but God, he was getting harassed all the time. Darnell Wright has to be much better than that dude. I'm sorry, whoever number 75 is, but he was not good. Herbert. Yeah.
Dawson Knox is number 2 tight end now, just so you know.
I still believe in his athleticism, buddy. Still got to believe in him.
I mean, 26. He could. How many more years does he have on his contract?
Knox, I'm pretty sure this is last year.
This is Flyer, boys. Flyer.
Michael Thomas. There he is.
We're getting the bottom of the barrel here, fellas.
Great pick.
Well, he'll probably retire or, just get kicked out of the league, so I'll get an open spot.
Yeah, he's got
Musgrave starting. See you, Smith. Yeah, Jordan Love. Not today.
That's all right. Take Zach Evans.
No one giving any love to Mac Jones here, except for the computer here in a second.
Hey, if you want Mac Jones, you can take him, my man.
I don't want Mac Jones on my team.
He's all yours, bud.
Definitely not.
Do you think he stays? He can't stay after this, right?
In New England, you mean?
He's going to be a backup somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I think Belichick hates him.
Yeah. Belichick's so cryptic about what he does, but yeah, there's no way. Oh, yeah. Take likely. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else. Yeah, but you get pretty thin pretty quick with with these guys, with these dynasty drafts. I mean, just imagine you're going to be going down to what, 30, 32 slots. I mean, yeah, you're really dragging the bottom of the barrel.
Chargers drafted a tight end, yeah.
Did
Mayer?
Sorry, Mayer went to Las Vegas.
And they got, who did they get?
Richard Rodgers.
They didn't get one.
Who is that? No.
For some reason, I thought I drafted a tight end. Never mind.
I don't think so. They got Darnell Parham, and they have Gerald Everett is the other guy. I don't think they have another tight end.
I don't think they do either.
But with Kellen Moore, Chargers got to be a better, more high-flying offense, right?
Whitey will love this one. This is just pure random.
Ugh. Dude, that's a one-off, and then the guy's done playing football.
Hey, Brian, this is for you, buddy.
Ooh.
That's rude. I forgot you were in front of me. I was about to take him, and then I was like, "There's no way Chet's going to take him." And then
another running back that's hampered by no return game.
He's a stud. Shut up.
See, now it's time to go for a rookie here.
To be fair, Chet, you should have gotten those early rounds for those rookies.
Well, no, I mean, that's obviously the strategy, but now in these late rounds, like, when you're picking from the bottom of the absolute barrel here, it probably is in your best interest to go for a low rookie. Get off of CEH, by the way, whoever that is.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. You don't think that CEH is going to go anywhere else?
He's still on waivers, right?
No.
He picked up?
No, he's still with the Chiefs.
I thought we dropped him.
No.
Nope.
Oh.
We should have with the way he acted. Smith, this one's for you, bud.
Let's see it.
Did you take him right there? Yeah, jerk.
Oh.
That'll
be a nice backup to my Pacheco, but he does get a lot of touches.
I mean, he had 9 touchdowns last year.
9 straight weeks.
Is he, Brian, is he 29?
31.
31 or 32.
He's doing with like a ton of teams, right? Minnesota was with the Niners too,
San
right?
Francisco, yeah, he got a huge contract from San Francisco, and then he got hurt, and then he came back. Yeah, he had so many touchdowns in the year. It was
that one was for you, Smith.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go a little bit younger. To be fair, I'll go with CEH.
Dog water.
Reroute. Chase Claypool.
Reroute.
Only 24. He's got a couple more years in him.
Oh, you only did 17 picks?
Is that what I did? 18 rounds. 18 rounds.
No, it's not showing me the 18th. That's weird. It's only showing me the 17th. That's cool. I'm seeing it on yours. You're good.
Michael Gallup. You got 5 running backs, Brian? Jeez. Shepard's got 5, 4.
4 running backs for me.
Yeah.
Running back or receiver here. Is Michael Carter the backup in New York?
He is.
I forgot. I can't remember if they signed someone or not.
No.
5'8", 201. Big boy.
Yeah, he is the backup right now. Dom Peoples-Jones, you think he's going to get a... I guess he is only 24. I didn't realize that.
Gosh, I was hoping Gerald Everett made it back to me. He rejected 190, and they picked him at 16. That's probably actually 190. Dang it. I wasn't paying attention. I was hoping Gerald Everett.
Yeah, running back here.
I don't even know who that is.
That makes 2 of us.
Oh gosh. Yeah, we'll have time to run another Dynasty Draft 2 after we chat about our teams. Yeah, he sniped Carter there. I'll take Nicole.
Quit freaking taking tight ends.
You got 4 quarterbacks to be.
Yeah.
God. I mean, I guess I don't think these guys are really doing anything, are they?
Are you looking at quarterback?
I don't think those quarterbacks are like usable at all.
The only one that's probably usable out of those would be Trask or Zach Wilson if Rodgers or Baker get hurt.
You don't think that...
Or Minshew might start just to give Richardson a year off.
Do you think they would do that?
I doubt it, but...
I think you got to let that dude ball. The more and more that Whitey talked about it, I think he's right. I think you got to let that dude ball out.
I think you got to let him ball out, and your team's not projected to do anything. So it's a different scenario than like the Chiefs, where Smith was getting you to the playoffs every year. But like you didn't know if he could get you, if throwing Mahomes in his rookie year would have gotten you over the hump. It's different with Richardson. Your team already sucks, so give him experience now.
Yeah. Hey, you got your tight end?
Yeah, I drafted way too late on tight ends. I'm not really happy about that position currently. I'm actually good with Musgrave at 13th round.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good spot, but I think you probably could have taken one of these mini.
I was trying to decide between Pollard and Hawkinson, and then I was trying to decide between Joe Mixon and your wife's ex-boyfriend, and I couldn't. And then all the other ones were just out of range where I wouldn't have gotten Njoku or Mayer. I don't know which way it was going. I needed a quarterback there. Yeah, I just didn't have any.
Schultz wouldn't have been a bad pick instead of
I thought about him. I thought about him too, but
Cole Kmet might not have been a bad pick either. I don't necessarily know if I'm stoked about that, but
I went with Levis for the future and QB play.
Yeah.
You see his target practice, Brian, at OTAs? Missed all the targets.
Who's that?
Levis.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I did not see that. I saw the Buccaneers, Baker, and Kyle Trask just throwing ducks left and right.
They were not
good. Baker,
either.
that's no surprise there.
Baker's normally accurate.
He's a head case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shep, running back. What do you think about your squad, man?
I'm really liking the top tier here. I mean, obviously you got to love Allen, you got to love Kelsey. Despite Kelsey only having, he's made of absolute titanium. So the guy probably has at least 10 years left. I mean, first tight end in history to go 20 years in the league. Going to break all the records, obviously, that he hasn't broken already. Diggs, stud. Daniel Jones, not a popular pick, but I do think his best football is honestly. I do think he's in a good system there. Obviously, with the legs, very dangerous. I really do like the Pacheco pick, and that may be a bit of a homer, but I do think what we saw last year is he's going to continue to progress. He runs hard, great teammate, just obviously has all the skills that you would want. Miles Sanders, historically for me, hasn't been very good, but I like this pick here. And then on down the line, I think it's a solid pick. Dawson Knox is someone that, sometimes lacks trust with me just based on history. But I do think the guy's an absolute stallion of an athlete with some great hands. So overall, pretty happy with my team.
Yeah, you drafted him the last 4 years.
That is untrue. It was the 3 before that. But, you got to believe in a guy and you got to stand by him. And as a fantasy football manager and an owner and operator of a team, that's my responsibility.
Brian, when looking at Shep's
let's go
team,
back to Shep's.
When looking at Shep's team, what picks did you like? What picks did you not like?
I mean, obviously Allen's good.
Yeah.
Kelsey, you have to take him.
Yeah.
I think it just sucks with Kelsey is the age. It's eventually
33.
It's eventually going to catch up to him, but you have to take him there with the 7-8 years that he's put up the last 7-8 years. Diggs, obviously you get him for the combo with Allen. Anytime Allen throws a touchdown, you have a 25% chance it's Diggs, essentially.
Sure.
Danny Jones, I think you could have waited to your next pick. I don't know what his range was there. I would have gone him or Deebo Samuel was, and maybe you could gone Chubb or Stevenson there.
What are your thoughts on Tony, Brian? If he could stay healthy, I think he's a surefire stud.
That's just the big if is that. And then Deebo's just not really fantasy.
I hate Deebo. If I can avoid Deebo, I try to avoid Deebo at all costs.
There's too many options on that team.
Yeah. He's an odd player too because he's lined up at running back a lot, and that just screams injury, right? When you're a 195-pound receiver.
And then if you go back and look at last year, as soon as they got McCaffrey, his running went downhill.
Oh yeah,
and they got Elijah Mitchell. It's not like they.
That's just the thing that sucks with anybody on the 49ers is besides CMC. It's pretty much a crapshoot every week. You're hoping they put up numbers, but it's just, I don't know. I probably would have gone. Oh, Drake London went right. Did Drake London? No. Did Drake London go before or after?
He went after. I would have gone Drake London.
I would have gone Drake London there. Only guy in Atlanta. Also very
Pitts.
young. Pitts is nothing.
Yeah,
Pitts is dog. I would have gone London. I would have gone London there or Pollard instead of Samuel, just because there's so many options in San Francisco. I mean, you're good for 4 or 5 weeks where he drops a 20 or a 30 burger, but
Pitts went top 5, didn't he?
Yeah, 4. That's why you draft Pitts because he is going. I mean, he had 1,000 yards in his first year.
Don't have a quarterback.
Okay, he's 22, Brian. This is Dynasty, not redraft.
Whatever.
What are we on about?
Pacheco, love it, obviously, homer pick, but that's also
logical.
You got to hope he gets into the passing game more. That's kind of his downside last year. Didn't get enough touches on catches and whatnot. And especially when we get down to the goal line, it's 70-30 we're passing inside on first and inside the goal line, or first and goal inside the 10. It's 70-30, maybe 80-20 that we're throwing. Sanders, love the pick. I'm not sure if that's early, right on time, or late. I'm not sure where he was going in the Dynasty drafts, but love that pick. Finally gets to be a ball hawk and be a 3-down guy in Carolina because they have nobody. Tony, obviously, if he stays healthy, he can put up some numbers.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson, I don't know.
I think Deontay Johnson's a good pick. I mean, he had 148 targets last year. I mean, the only problem was he didn't score a touchdown. He's gonna score.
I mean,
that's
that's
something.
The downside. I think they were trying to figure out Pickett last year and kind of get him into things.
I think athletically, I think Johnson is just top tier. And I'm just speaking athletically. I think he is an absolute stud.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Looking at the league, I think Deontay Johnson is probably top 5 route runners in the league.
Yeah. I mean, imagine him on a different team, obviously post Big Ben era with a more stable quarterback. Obviously, they had to figure out their rookie last year, but I think he's a stud. And I think I got him pretty late, didn't I? Or relatively late.
You got him 9th round. Yeah. That's probably where
that's a good spot.
He's going. That's probably a good spot. Purdy, not going to play this year. That's kind of a future pick for you.
Yep.
You don't think he plays this year?
No. 0 shot.
Trey Lance.
UCL and Tommy John surgery are completely different than ACLs and all the other injuries. Roshan Johnson, don't know. That's kind of a future pick. I think they're going to try and
a good pick.
Figure out him and Khalil Herbert, who's going to be the one. And I think Khalil Herbert's, this might be his last year on his contract, maybe. So not bad for future years. Knox, kind of more of a depth piece because you got Kelsey.
Yep.
Michael Thomas, just hoping he decides not to be made of class and
just hoping he figures it out mentally, honestly, more than anything. Because
put some Play-Doh in him or something, make him somewhat stronger. I don't know.
We saw him at his prime too. He was just an absolute monster.
Oh yeah. In the keeper league, I had him in the 13th, 12th, and 11th round 3 years in a row, and he was top 10 or wide receiver all 3 years. That was
speaking from being in that league. That was horrible for everyone else except for you.
Yeah. Deuce Vaughn, love it. Probably should have gone 7th round because he's so good.
Oh, if a homer ever said a word,
that's Homer. That's Homer. He has a chance to be the backup to spell Tony Pollard. Between him and Malik Davis, we'll see how that pans out. Like Smith said, they're changing kicking rules and whatnot, so it kind of takes away his big shot of more playing opportunity than he was guaranteed. Wendell Robinson coming back from Achilles or ACL, I can't remember. I want to say it's ACL. We'll see how that pans out with Danny Scrubs.
Okay, Bry.
Rashid Shaheed, just a straight vertical route runner. Hopefully, gadget guy, kind of like a Mecole Hardman, just run straight down the line or do jet sweeps. Other than that, he's dog water. E-Hole, no idea who the frig that dude is.
I don't know who that is either.
KJ Osborne, I actually like that. I think he had a career year last year, being the number 3 essentially behind 25. Jay Jetta and Hawkinson. Adding Addison there, I think that opens up a lot more space for him. So I think he has about the same type of year he had this past year.
Do you think that Kirk Cousins can sustain Jay Jetta, Addison, Hawkinson, and Osborne?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I think Kirk Cousins probably has his best year this year. They need to change their offensive game plan though, because they're normally a running team. They need to change it to a passing team.
Yeah.
Especially with trying to get rid of Dalvin Cook and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, you had said at the beginning of it, I would have liked Hurts more than Allen. And honestly, I think I would have taken Joe Burrow over Allen, but I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with Mahomes. Or if you can go wrong with
The only reason why
Hurts,
Allen's
Allen,
going
and
ahead
Burrow.
of Burrow, the only reason why Allen's going ahead of Burrow is
because he's
because
running.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would have liked Jalen Hurts over Allen. I think I agree. Kelsey,
he didn't fall that far, so
yeah, that's fair. Kelsey, yeah, I like that one. Diggs, I don't know about Diggs, man. I think I would have rather liked.
I almost took Higgins right there, actually.
I think I would have rather gone Higgins. Was it 24 versus 29? I mean, he's still catching like 10 tutties a year, but I don't know.
I think either way you go, Higgins or Diggs, there's just a lot of competition on the field, despite how talented each player is. I mean, obviously, look at Cincinnati with Jamar Chase, and also Boyd's obviously a threat. There's just a ton of players at each team, so you have to kind of pick your poison.
Yep, I like Danny Jones. I think it's a good pick. Deebo Samuel, I try to avoid him as all costs. I mean, he could get a 20 bomb in some really nice spots. But he is 20. He's 27. I think he has 2 more years. He has this year and then next year, and then I think San Francisco has a potential out the year after. Honestly, I hope he leaves for his own sake. And
more
to be
space
fair,
to operate.
for fantasy footballers' sake as well, because he can do everything, but he seemingly does. He doesn't do anything as well as everyone else, right? He can just do it all.
If they didn't get CMC, he would be a stud.
Yep. Yeah.
He'd be still in the backfield.
Still be in the backfield, which potentially would be hurt. So I think this lengthens his career, but I'm not necessarily stoked about Deebo Samuel, if I'm going to be honest with you. Miles Sanders, I mean, obviously like Pacheco, favorite player on KC right now. Miles Sanders, I think, is quite nice. Tony, I hope to God that he stays healthy.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at it in the the conference championship, he only ran like 6 routes, something like that.
I think he tweaked his hamstring, didn't he? In that one, or his ankle, or something like that. It was one of the two.
It was the ankle.
Yeah. And then only ran 9 in the Super Bowl. To be fair, ankle did him wrong, but I mean, you got to stay healthy. Deontay Johnson, I like that Deontay Johnson pick. He's a youngster still, 26. He's got a couple more years in him. He had 6 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns, 8 or 9, and then 0. There is no way that he's getting 0 once again. Kenny Pickett should be better. Deontay Johnson's still going to get a decent amount of balls. Can run all over the field. I like that pick, especially in the 9th round. I don't know. I think that's about as good as you're going to get.
Yep.
Brock Purdy, pretty nice. I still think he takes over San Francisco. I don't know if Trey Lance is going to stay there. To be fair,
wicked hairline on Trey Lance too. Let's not
looking like Trey Young out there.
Someone should have told him put on a hat
or Devin White.
Trey Young's a really good one because they're very similar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and Dawson Knox. I think Deuce Vaughn's not a talking point, to be honest, but not a K-State fan. So I think the big thing, the special teams hurts them, unfortunately.
I think so too.
I don't know. That's it. I think it was pretty good, pretty solid draft though, to be fair. I don't know where you end up in this league the first year, because I do think you have the pieces to be able to put it together. And make a bit of a streak, but maybe get rid of Brock Purdy for maybe an older player, to be fair. Dawson Knox could be utilized for something else as well. So maybe Michael Thomas goes off the first 3 or 4 weeks and you trade him for something decent. I don't know. Yeah, Dynasty.
A lot of guys have good potential.
What a fun game. Sure. Yeah, definitely. And I think Miles Sanders is going to be nice. To be fair, did not catch a lot of balls in Philly last year. Only caught like 20 something. But I think Bryce Young is going to be dumping it off. quite a bit, I would think. So
going to a team that needs a lot of help.
They need a lot of, and they had a good line. Like Chuba Hubbard and Foreman had a good amount of. I mean, after they traded CMC, I think they both went off for 100 yards the next game, and they were looking nice, to be fair. So
yeah,
I think that's a good shout. I would like drafting Miles Sanders that late because I think you get one more, maybe two more. I think you get a couple years out of him in Carolina, and then I mean, you could potentially ditch them for a squad that is maybe contending, and you get some of their picks or maybe a younger guy. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good shout.
I dig it.
B, what you got? Cincy fan, big Cincy fan. Brian Pearson is no surprise here. I've seen this a couple times here in recent years, so
it just worked out that way perfectly.
Oh, classic! Yeah,
I just fell into my lap, and I was just drafting
big Bengals guy.
2 or 3, 4 spots before they.
He loves the chili in Cincinnati.
After, so, obviously, you go Burrow there, top 4 quarterback. I didn't think I was going to get him with Jefferson being there. That was kind of a surprise.
Yeah,
but definitely take Burrow. Top 2 receivers are under 24 studs. One's the number 1, the other one's number 2, getting lots of targets like a number 1 would. Then they come back on the kick around. Najee Harris somehow put up 1,000 yards and had a decent year last year, even though it looked terrible if you watched the actual games.
Yeah.
Decent year, but hopefully they figured out. They got a new left tackle. Hopefully that opens up some lanes and Pickett can throw some more. And Pollard's the number 1 in Dallas now, so stud city. Mixon to the 6th round. That's a steal if I've ever seen one. He's only 26. Just catching balls left and right. P. Ryan's gone, so he can go back to his 3-down role. Scary Terry always puts up good numbers. Not good numbers. Decent numbers for the quarterbacks that he's had throwing to him.
Said no one.
He's had 8 different quarterbacks, I think, throwing the ball, something like that, something crazy.
Give him some help.
I was going to go Jameson Williams there, but I didn't want to have 2 Lions. That seems counterproductive, in my opinion. And they both would have been 23 and 22, which, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I went with Scary Terry. He puts up decent numbers. He could be a decent flex guy or trade bait later on. D-Hop, wherever he goes, I think he's going to put up some good numbers.
Can he stay healthy? That's the only big thing, right?
Yeah. Doesn't have as much route running ability, not as fast anymore, so he's not doing the deep balls, but still a great route runner. Intermediate game, so happy about that. And then 3 quarterbacks in a row because I only had the Burrow, Rodgers. I think he has a year or 2 good years in New York. Carr, I think, opens it up passing game wise for Olave. I wish I would have had Olave. And then Levis is just kind of a futures pick. Who knows if he actually ever becomes a starter or whatnot, but that's just more. He dropped. He probably should have gone 10 picks before that, maybe something like that. So that's kind of just a futures pick, and I didn't really like anything behind that. Kind of the same boat. Younger guys. Herbert, we'll see what he does this year. I think he'll start out as the 1, but I think Shep picked Roschon Johnson. I think he takes over. Tight end, I went way too late and kind of fell into the area of I don't really feel comfortable about this guy, or that's 6 picks too early. I don't really want to waste 6 picks too early on a tight end. And by the time I needed one, Musgrave was the best one. I think he does well. Rookie-wise, besides Kincaid, I think he's up there with the best opportunity with the most options to throw the ball with Love. I don't know what their offense is going to be. OBJ, kind of just a flyer. Hopefully
he's got to earn that money.
Hopefully his 17 ACLs are good. Jerick McKinnon, stud pick, steal. Kind of an FU to you as well, because you pick him in every draft. If he goes on that run like he did last year, he'll win me a championship in the later rounds. Peoples Jones, probably the third or fourth option there in Cleveland. We'll see what he can do. Still very young.
Yeah.
Again, dynasty, so this could be his last year. Maybe go somewhere where he's valued. Jeez. Michael Carter back up to Brees. We'll see what his ACL does, and that's a late pick too. So not mad about that. And then Higbee.
Didn't realize he was 30.
Yeah, that's why he's so low. Older tight end, but he'll put some good steady numbers for you week to week with Cup behind him. So,
Shep, what's your critique? What are you thinking, man?
I like his team, and I absolutely hate saying that, but it seems like I say that every year whenever we do these drafts. Obviously, Burrow, speaks for himself. Absolute top 4 quarterback in the league. Amon St. Brown just had an incredible year last year. Just puts up numbers steady. Higgins to me, and I hate saying this as a diehard Chiefs fan, I think he's probably one of the trio for arguably the best wide receiver trio in the league. Apart from Jason and the rest of the group there, I think he's just an absolute stud as well. And I think with Higgins, for some reason, I always think of him as older, and I don't know why I think that, but 3 years in the league, he has plenty of time left. Najee Harris is an absolute workhorse. I think one of the best ones that Brian picked was Pollard. He had just a crazy year last year. Dak is no longer there. Is Dak a free agent? Do we know where he's landing up? Or
you mean Zeke?
Zeke's still a free agent.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, Zeke's still a free agent.
Yep.
There's potential he does come back, though, to be fair. They got rid of like $20 million or something.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay that $20 million for him to
a lot of cap in there. I look at Joe Mixon, obviously the workhorse in Cincinnati. But Brian went big on the Bengals. Scary Terry, if not for being in Washington for the last number of years, I think he would have been, just absolute stellar. But he's obviously put up some great numbers. D-Hop, it'll depend on where he lands. I think Hopkins is what is he? Is he 31 right now
30.
or something like that?
Yeah, 31, 32.
Yeah.
30.
So obviously in Dynasty, you're not looking for long-term value there, but I think he's going to be a stud. We'll see what Rodgers does this year in New York. I think Brian's best pick, and I think he alluded to it a minute ago, I think is McKinnon. I think when you look at what he brings to the table, he's just so dynamic and he puts up great fantasy points. And I think that could be a real piece for Brian to either keep or I think he could be a great trade opportunity for someone maybe whose running backs are not performing at the level that they wanted to. But I think ultimately, Brian, you picked a great team, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that pisses me off too. To hear that. To be fair, first 3, obvious. I think they're gimmies. Najee Harris, I think, is going to have a bounce back year. Where they pick up that the kid from
Ohio State, Broderick Jones,
and then they picked up that monster Darnell Washington, right, as their tight end.
Yep.
So Najee Harris could.
I think they'll be rocking some 2 tight end sets more than they have in the years past.
Hey, well, give the ball to Najee if you're going to be running behind a 6'8" freak.
Let him run,
and he can catch the ball. To be fair, I think you have 3 guys that could end up in the top 5 running back this year. I think Tony Pollard could catch 100. I think Najee Harris could have a lot of touches, and I think Joe Mixon is going to get run to the ground. Could also have could have 100 catches as well. So. I think those 3, and paired with St. Brown, Higgins, what a wide receiver core. McLaurin, Scary Terry, he could do some things. Who knows who's going to be the quarterback in Washington, though? I don't even think EB has any idea. So
they're sounding like it's Sam Howell, is what I've been seeing, which blows my mind. But
yeah,
if he can put up his numbers with Heineke and Wentz, I have no doubt he'll be fine as a flex and matchup guy.
Yeah. D-Hop though, and I think these are 2 pieces that or Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr, which I think are going to be good quarterbacks. One of them is going to have to be hanging out on the bench. If one of these guys gets hurt, maybe you can move them for a tight end for a win now because I think the tight end is going to be the weakest spot. I think Khalil Herbert is a solid pick too, to be fair. So I would probably move one of these 4 picks for a tight end. I mean, maybe even Khalil Herbert, to be fair, but he's on the younger side, 25. But
should have gotten Mayer. I was looking at Mayer, but I was like, I only have one quarterback right now. That's why I went Rodgers.
Well, you wouldn't have had him. He got picked right before.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
That worked out.
Njoku could have been, or I mean, I still think Waller is going to have a pretty nutty year too. So maybe this Schultz, especially being at 26, would have been the pick instead of Will Levis. But these two guys are getting a little bit older, so we'll see. Yeah, I think Brian has a pretty good squad for the first 18. Unfortunately, it does piss me off to say. So, but yeah, I think you could move. I definitely think you could utilize these 4 guys in order to pick up a tight end that is going to make it so put you
make a
kind of at the
difference.
top. Yeah, because I think this is a get off the ground. This is a league-winning team, to be fair. So we'll see. Well, I guess we won't see. We're never going to look at this draft ever again. So good idea, though, Brian.
What you got for me, Smith? What are you feeling?
Lamar Jackson. I think I was talking with Shep about this before we started. If I'm sitting at 106, honestly, I don't really want any part of this pick. I would want those top 4 quarterbacks, and then I would trade out of the 1-6.
I'm surprised you didn't go Herbert there.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
That threw me off. I was expecting you to go Herbert.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Or Chase, I even thought too.
Yeah, in Dynasty, I'm wanting one of the first picks to be a quarterback. I'm not necessarily stoked about taking a wide receiver in the first round. I mean, I guess you do have the likes of Watson and Richardson that are going to be hanging out in that second round, but I hate the idea of taking a wide receiver in the first round just because they are so important for that build. I would have traded out of this 1-6, especially with Jackson and Herbert, Fields left on the board, and I probably would have traded it for a 2, 3, and I don't know, maybe a 5 or 6. Especially if you have the likes of all these players that are hanging out in there. I just feel like you can get so much more value out of. I mean, if you're going to get a second round, a second, third round, and a second, fifth, or a sixth, I don't see why you wouldn't. But we can't do that in a mock draft, to be fair. So I'll take Lamar Jackson. Hopefully the contract negotiations really clean that up, and he'll play every game. I mean, the dude can drop 40 if he wants to, but then again, he's got to stay healthy though. So. Yeah. Garrett Wilson.
I would say, especially since the kicker to him is he gets hurt during the playoffs or at the end of the season for fantasy playoffs. So
yeah,
he can stay healthy. Good pick. I still would have gone Herbert. I mean, they're interchangeable. I just would have preferred Herbert in my opinion.
Yeah,
but.
We playing, I guess, in a redraft league here last year. Herbert just seemingly did not do much. I don't know why. I mean, what do you have, like 5,000 yards or something last year? I mean, 4,500, whatever it was. There just didn't seem to be any. I just didn't feel it coming from him. And
he had some stinker games. I think I had him last year, Smith, and there was just some he put up 8 to 14. That's not what you want from a top tier quarterback.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you're going to be, I mean, I guess in a redraft, it was like, I don't know, 4th or 5th.
But again, he played the entire year.
That is important to be on the field.
Yeah.
I think I traded him though. I ended up trading him for, I think, CD Lamb or something like that. So
yeah.
I don't know, but recency bias. If you get screwed over by a player, then by all means, you're never gonna pick him again, right? Garrett Wilson, I am so stoked about that pick. I think he's gonna go. bonkers with Rodgers, and yeah, especially now
He's
going
a
to
new
go.
Devontae.
Yeah, he's going to be good. Seeing a couple Twitter videos, man. These social media squads for each of these teams are so good at letting you see what you want to see, right? Like you get to see, for Chiefs fans, you see Justin Ross, 30-yard bomb, everyone goes nuts. Garrett Wilson just doing some nutty things. Quentin Johnson out in Los Angeles, one-handed grab, and you're seeing these like all over the place, right? The social media teams are so good at showing you what you want to see. Garrett Wilson is, he is nice with his body, just doing. He does nutty things with the ball. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Slim Reaper just became a dad. Congrats to him. Had a pretty nice announcement picture. But I think Slim Reaper is good. If he's gonna be hanging out in Philly, he's got Jalen Hurts tossing those balls to him. So pretty stoked about that.
He started doing some squats. His legs are like the size of my wrist.
he does need to do 170 pounds at 6'7", but
he has that AJ Green body going on.
Yeah, but he's
it's 2 inches shorter than AJ Green.
Yeah, but same size legs.
He's fun to watch, though. I like watching Devonta Smith.
AJ Brown being there though does shadow him a little bit.
For sure. Not necessarily sure if I'm stoked about that with him being the second receiver, but the third round, I guess I could have taken Cooper Kupp. That would have been a definitely win now team. I would have changed up things a little bit, but I'm not mad about.
You're giving hope for the future.
Yep. Yeah. Tua, I have no idea what to think about this. I thought about Danny Jones pretty hard, but Tua's been bulking this offseason. I don't know if you guys have seen him, but that boy has been eating some whey protein like it was his job.
He looked huge.
I'm not sure if he's eating whey protein. More like Burger King is what he looks like he's eating.
Yeah, he was not looking good.
He's a bit thick. I don't think he's going to get concussed this year.
Oh, I think he's trying to add some weight to his head or something to get some extra padding.
Whatever he's eating is the wrong thing.
We'll see what 6'1", 217. I don't think so. He's
about 235 now, I bet.
Yeah, exactly. I put him 235, 240.
Yeah, exactly. Derrick Henry, I don't know. I really wanted Pollard, to be honest with you. Derrick Henry, I think, has maybe two more decent years left in him. But I think the problem is like Tennessee has nothing else going for them.
They're just in a hellhole right now. They tried to rock the pretty good defense and then having a great run game with a good O-line. Their O-line's been bad the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And Tannehill's gone downhill.
Yeah. To be fair, though, he did catch.
If you don't trade AJ Brown away, last season's a completely different scenario, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's hanging out in the AFC South.
But that also changes the Eagles. If the Eagles don't trade for AJ Brown, they maybe don't make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, though, I think Tennessee could easily win like 4 games, and that's it.
Yeah,
they should tank.
That was kind of you had to pick a running back there.
Yeah, and I really wanted.
You could have gone Hawk there, I guess.
I did not want Hawkinson.
Then after Henry, Damian Pierce.
No,
you could have gone Pacheco there.
No, I would have taken Derrick Henry over any of those guys.
Swift, Dobbins, Williams.
I would have taken Henry over all those
Dobbins.
guys.
I like Swift. I'm not sure if I'm sold on him.
I agree on that one. What is he? 20? He's 24. He's still young.
Devontae coming back from ACL. Yeah, I would have gone for the sure thing in Henry as well. But.
Yeah. And then coming back around, I think Rachaad White is. He's a good player. The Buccaneers also have nothing, and if we can watch, like you said before, watching Baker Mayfield, Trask toss these balls. I have no idea who they are throwing it to. And if they can't throw a 5-yard, dump off, I don't know. Rachaad White, I think, is going to be a good player, especially without Fournette.
Well, with how many catches Fournette had last year, Rachaad White's going to get a lot.
He had like 78 catches last year.
He's going to get a lot of dump offs.
Did not see that coming, by the way.
No, I didn't either. But I guess when you throw it 470 times or whatever it was, Tom Brady did. They threw so many balls.
A lot of those were behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I mean, 70 of them went to Fournette. To be fair, so Williams, I don't know what to think about Williams. 22, really young.
Suspension, right?
Yeah,
First 6, yeah.
He is sus. He is suspended. He was
getting them
gambling.
roids.
He's gambling on the premises.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was gambling.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Gambling on the premises. Wasn't on his own games. I don't even think he was on a sport, to be fair. But
don't do it in the facilities.
Don't do
How
it
hard is that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's
It's a stupid thing, but at the same time, like it's a rule. Like
it shouldn't have to be said. Like it shouldn't have to be communicated to not do that. You would think that would be something that wouldn't have to be mentioned.
But the problem is betting is everywhere, right? Like the NFL makes a living off of betting. They have to they're getting kickbacks from, DraftKings and FanDuel and all these things. But I agree, you can't. But then again, like I don't know, like shouldn't these guys be able to bet on basketball games?
Well, just don't do it on property.
I mean, they're there. Like, I mean, I guess I'm not betting at work either, but
I think it brings a different thing when you're in the National Football League. I mean, that brings a certain element of responsibility that others like us regular people don't have, right? Yeah. You have the privilege of playing in that league.
It's like, hey, don't do heroin in the office.
Okay.
I'm
heroin
not sure
and gambling.
That's kind of the point, right? Yeah.
Hot take: heroin and gambling are on the same.
They're not the same. They're not the same thing. But like, if you're gonna gamble, do it in your private home, away from everyone. If you're gonna do heroin, don't do it in front of people.
Yeah.
Aggressive drug there, Brian. But yeah, I kind of get your point though, buddy.
Coke, weed, I don't
know. Don't open a Bud Light at your desk at 9:30 in the morning for us to live.
There you go. I probably should have gone with
that's better, right?
I should have gone with that. Something lighter than going to one of the big drugs out there.
Then like a grade 1 felony charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, gee, criminy. Goodness me. Yeah, don't crack open the Bud Light. Let's go with that. Shep, we need help. Do you want to come on here and join us on a weekly basis to help out? See what we have going on. Man.
I mean, if you want me
heroin, Brian,
to be a reoccurring guest, I'd feel very privileged about that. I can be your consultant for sure.
Man, top lad. That's a good man.
I do like the analogy, Brian. I definitely think that hits with the viewers for sure.
Yeah. Definitely trying to get that target market of the heroin users out there. They just hit up and
No, we aren't. No.
Obviously, that was a joke.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I guess so.
Within the legal rules of the world.
It's a capitalist society. We have to do what we have to do. Yeah. Jordan Love, I'm pretty stoked about that one. I think. I only saw him throw like 4 balls or whatever last year. So, Jordan Love is going to be throwing some absolute ropes to Christian Watson this year. We'll see about that. Njoku, I think Massage Watson is going to be a little bit better player here coming around this year, and I think Njoku is going to be a big part of it. Only 25, he can ball. Brian Robinson, I am stoked about this one, and I think EB is going to do some nice things with him. I don't necessarily know about Antonio Gibson taking up that much of a role, but Brian Robinson is going to handle it. Elijah Moore, I'm also really amped about this one too. 23. I think he's going to take a lot of. He's a good player. He can do a lot of things. Pretty amped. Dolchich. Denver has to be better this year, right? They got Peyton. They beefed up their line. I think Jerry Jeudy is going to be a good player.
Be worse.
Be worse. The only way to go is up. I mean, hey, Broncos country, let's ride.
Oh gosh, let's ride, baby. How many games do you guys legitimately think they win?
Well, the AFC West, they're just in an absolute buzzsaw.
They got 2 games against Raiders, so 2 wins.
What did they have last year? 4 or 5?
I think they had 4.
4. Yeah,
I would put them at 6 or 7.
I think Dolchich is. I think that's one of your best picks. I thought he was really impressive last year with what he had to work with. I really liked him a lot last year. He's just a natural athlete.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
I give them 6 or 7 wins.
Gosh, they got to be better than
That's
that.
probably fair. They have a great defense, though. They have great defense.
Oh man, Surtain is an absolute nut. That guy is not getting. I hope they get better simply for him. Because I think Surtain is so good. So we'll see what happens to them. Zach Evans, I don't know. It's a punt to see who's the Rams starting running back. Akers towards ACL or as Achilles. I hope the best for Akers, but I hope Evans pulls through. So
my first round pick last year.
Akers was doing pretty good last year at the end of the year.
I think I picked Akers my first running back last year.
You did.
And then I picked Darrell Henderson for insurance.
Cuff.
Neither of those went very well.
Yeah.
Were you in the Sacco last year?
I was not. But no, I actually think I did get last year, Brian.
No, it was Scott.
Well, yeah, I think I maybe got to the playoffs. Like
Scott's gotten last 2 of the last 3 years.
Yeah,
what is?
I think I was like the 7 or the 8 seed.
Smith. His problem was he went AJ Dillon in the 3rd, Cortland Sutton in the 4th, and Russell in the 6th.
He bet on Denver. I forgot about that.
That's kind of like going CJ Spiller.
He was doing a lot of podcasts listening to, and the podcast guys he was listening to were apparently Denver homers, and they were all about it. And he was like, "Oh, I'm fully going Denver." And then both drafts, he went full Denver. Cortland Sutton and Russell.
Gosh.
Throwback Brian to when Scott took CJ Spiller in the 1st round.
Yeah.
What?
That didn't go well. It had to be, 5 years ago? Something like that at least?
It was longer than that.
Yeah, whenever it was.
In a Dynasty?
No, just a redraft.
In a redraft?
Yeah. CJ Spiller, when he was the Buffalo's number 1, he drafted him 1st round. Way
too early. 9.
Yeah.
And he had 7 yards from scrimmage.
I don't know. What is he doing?
Yeah, Brian took Justin Tucker in the 7th round one year, so.
I mean, he's putting up points.
Yeah, a lot better than CJ Spiller was.
CJ Spiller hasn't seen the field yet.
Yeah, also the reason why I took Tucker in the 7th is because I had Michael Thomas in the 13th as my flex. So
I'm not sure why we're calling him Justin Tucker when we actually should be calling him the leg.
Oh man, the leg. Yeah, he. CJ Spiller, though. My God.
Yeah,
that was a bad one.
All right, Scott. I guess if you're listening in and you want to lose some money, come let us know. We'll get you in a couple leagues.
You gotta ask Mel first. She controls the Venmo account.
Yeah, I would too if you're making silly mistakes like this.
Yeah, he's had to host some draft parties the last couple of years.
Oh my gosh, does she bet his picks?
Oh yeah. Hey, shout out to Tim Film and DDS for hosting arguably the best draft party ever with Minsky's Pizza, and that was just incredible.
Yeah. Scott's gonna go with the little Caesars combo and then a couple 30 racks.
Or the one ballpark frank per guy and then call it a night.
That was last year. Murph, I can't believe he did that.
I mean, to be fair, times are tough.
He bought 1 pack of hot dogs and 2 pounds of beef, and we made hamburgers and hot dogs. I'm like, dude, you're a skis bag.
That overtook my draft party as being the worst one ever when I brought summer sausage and 3 pizzas.
Yeah, and he had 2. And he had 2 30 racks, maybe.
At least 2 30 racks, at least.
Oh my gosh!
You're supposed to provide a good meal, and then all the beer I could drink.
Yeah.
In one sitting over a period of 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I should have just gone to Aldi's, $7.50 for a full meat lovers pizza.
That's
what do you guys
doing, man? Mama Cozies.
Whew. Back to the goodies. Isaiah likely to win. That boy, tight end university out there in Baltimore. They know. I mean, that's easily a better pick than Musgrave, Schoonmaker.
No, it is not.
Trey McBride. Yeah, it is. Likely is a freak.
Musgrave, Schoonmaker, both starters.
What? I mean, 3 tight ends.
Starter. McBride, starter. Okonkwo, starter.
To be fair, how many tight ends have come from Baltimore?
What do you mean?
How many good tight ends have come out of Baltimore?
Like the city?
Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews is the only one? They've drafted other tight ends. Baltimore's drafted other tight ends, right?
Waller, but he was on
Waller.
coke or something.
I think he was on like fentanyl or something like that.
Okay, still a good player. I love a good
Who
comeback.
knows? He could have been on the heroin.
Hey, who knows? Shout out to our young viewers. Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, thank you, Shep. Nice little
buddy.
clarifier there. Michael Gallup definitely going to come back real nice from that second year ACL. Mecole Hardman,
Hate him.
you hate him?
Hate him.
Depends on if Gallup, how he's going to do with Cooks in the fold now.
I don't hate the picks, but I just hate Mecole Hardman as a person. I don't know why. It's just something internal. I don't know what it is.
He's a good dude.
You guys boys?
Huh?
You guys boys?
I've followed him a few times on Twitter.
Did he date your wife in junior high too?
I had to unfollow him at one point, but then I followed him.
In junior high, he would have been
in the third grade.
6.
Yeah, I don't think so. No,
he's a stud.
Mecole's not bad.
He's a stud.
I mean, honestly, he had like 9 touchdowns last year, or whatever it was, with the Chiefs, and he just got unlucky. I have no idea what was actually going on. I don't think we ever got a real understanding of it. Was it his
I agree.
abdominal pain? Was it his pelvis? And I just can't believe the Jets signed him for $1.5 million. The Chiefs weren't going to give him any of that dough. That just doesn't make any sense to me, especially when you got a receiving core of, Tony and MVS, Sky Moore, Jude, or I guess for the upcoming year, right?
Yeah.
You got John Ross, you got Justin Ross, maybe. I mean, he's
Richie
undrafted.
James.
Richie James is actually not that bad.
I'm loving Richie James.
He was in an insanely overcrowded offense. I mean, he didn't have the room.
Yep. I think Richie James is a good pickup, but I mean, Mecole's not. He's a good player. I don't.
He is a good player.
He got unlucky.
Yeah, I agree.
But then again, breaks come and go. So
he'll have a chance to prove himself and get a big contract at some point.
I hope he does. And I think he has a potential with. I mean, Rodgers can handle 3, 4, 5. I mean, 3 or 4 targets. Sure. So yeah,
and he knows speed, guys.
Yep. So I think this is a good landing spot for Mecole. I hope he does well. Kyron Williams, I mean, same kind of thing with. I guess I went to Los Angeles Rams, but
that was a bad pick.
At that point, who cares? Though?
I don't know. So I don't know. I don't think this is the year. I think, like I said, going back to that first pick, I would have dropped it off, traded that for a couple seconds, a couple thirds, maybe a couple or a fifth if I could get that. Just to be able to manipulate things and get a better, grasp of a team. If you get 2 seconds, 2 thirds, you take Devontae Smith and T. Higgins, or you get Garrett Wilson and AJ Brown or something like that. Wherever they're at, I think you get a little more ability to maneuver. So I like that. If you don't get those first 3 picks, to be fair, I'm taking Jalen Hurts. Or Joe Burrow. I think those are my top 2 guys that I'd want. Obviously, Pat Mahomes, but if you're not number 1, if you're number 1, you're going to get him. So, I don't know. So many different opportunities that you could, different ways to make a team, and that's what I love about Dynasty. Is you could play for now, you could play for later. Some scrubs that they don't really have any sort of idea of what they want to do, but this is game theory, and this is what when I was growing up playing Madden, I didn't even necessarily want to play the game. I just want to build a team. And that's what this
Draft
is.
and Madden, baby.
Yeah, exactly. If Mike Vick didn't go in the first round, you're an idiot. Cheat code. Use a cheat code. But I think that's the most intriguing thing about Dynasty, and that's what I love is you get to be the manager. So, yeah. Brian, I think unfortunately, bar a few injuries, may take this one. Team one though is not looking half bad.
Dog water.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think it's all we got time for here tonight. 10:47. Goodness me. B, any last words? Parting words?
Love it. Good analysis by everyone, giving their opinions on everything. Always good to have guests come on and help us out and fill in an episode. And can't go wrong with doing mock drafts left and right, so you know how to do it, what you want to do, strategy. You want to go younger, you want to win it this year, you want to go older, pieces to trade, all the things. I just love it. Love coming on here talking with lads about football, fantasy, all the things. Yeah, just another great night in my opinion.
Yeah, and thanks to Shep for hopping on here on short notice. As I said, we don't have too much of a waiting list, so you are welcome at any time, my man.
Thanks for having me, boys. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on. Yeah, we got a lot of time till football season starts, so we can do a lot more of these. So, Shep, anything from you? To be fair.
No, really appreciate you guys having me. Again, the Dynasty format was a little bit unique. Haven't done one of those before. We usually do typical snake drafts. So quarterbacks are king in Dynasty, it seems. And you gotta. It's an interesting strategy where you certainly want immediate value in like your players like your Hopkins and the guys who are going to produce. But there's also a lot of strategy in going young, and I think we see that here. So again, a lot of fun, boys. Good seeing you, fellas. Would love to come back on at some point. Don't do drugs, kids.
Stay away from that heroin. Not a good drug to try. To be
Public
fair.
service announcement. Yep.
Thank you, Shep, for rounding that one out for us. Don't do drugs, boys. Yeah, but I appreciate everyone being on here tonight. Thank you, Shep, once again for hanging out with us. It was a great fantasy draft. Let us know. What you guys thought down below. Don't say Brian won the draft though, please. We don't need that boy's head getting any bigger. So
too big.
That's the damn truth.
Yeah. But that's all we have here from Boy in the Beard. Take care, everyone.